Maybe you want work that feels useful, concrete, or built on earned skill. After 40, change is still possible. The harder question is whether the path fits the life and experience you already carry. A skilled trade can look like a grounded second act. Plumbing, electrical work, or HVAC. Real problems, visible results, and competence you earn. But an experienced adult may still enter as a beginner, under local rules, with possible schedule and physical demands, and a transition their household must carry. Before you quit, enroll, or mistake a national outlook for a local offer, we will test what the work may provide, what it cannot promise, and which path has earned your next commitment. What are you hoping a skilled trade will change? Maybe you want useful work, visible results, more movement, technical mastery, security, autonomy, pride, or a new identity. That does not prove this category is the answer. Separate the result you want from the vehicle you imagined. Are you drawn to plumbing, electrical work, or HVAC, or mainly to what the trades represents? That distinction will shape every decision that follows. After 40, change can feel like two choices. Decide it is too late, or prove something with a dramatic leap. Being over 40 does not automatically disqualify you. And experience does not make you ready. Actual tasks, support, route access, household capacity, and recovery matter more than the calendar. What may differ is what a wrong move can disturb. Income, benefits, status, time, or stability that took years to build. Waiting can cost something too. Now remove the title. Would you still want supervised learning, standards, service pressure, documentation, cleanup, and responsibility on a Tuesday? Open the label "The Trades" and see what is inside. Plumbing, electrical work, and HVAC are not one job. They overlap in troubleshooting, standards, tools, communication, documentation, and safety. But they differ in systems, settings, training patterns, credential layers, and schedules. One role may center on construction, another on service, maintenance, or an institution. Within one trade, the day can change by specialty and employer. Which actual problems, settings, and service relationships do you want enough to investigate one path in detail? Choosing the category is not yet choosing a work life. At the national level, plumbing and electrical work are commonly apprenticeship-centered. BLS describes 4 or 5-year paths that combine paid-on-the-job training with technical instruction. BLS describes HVAC technicians as typically needing a post-secondary non-degree award, followed by lengthy on-the-job learning, although some enter with less education and other routes exist. A registered apprenticeship is paid work with mentorship, instruction, progressive wages, and a recognized credential. It does not prove a current opening where you live. Rules may attach to an apprentice, worker, supervisor, contractor, or task. A public listing is a lead, not proof of an open seat, acceptance, completion, placement, pay, or schedule. What is the lowest commitment lawful route that can answer your largest unknown? Time to transition is demanding, while exact access and duration remain local. The satisfying image is a problem found in a system working again. The job can include planning, measurement, diagrams, standards, diagnosis, testing, records, customers, travel, cleanup, and responsibility. Hands-on does not mean free of math, code, technology, or administration. It means a different mix of physical work and technical judgment. Would you want responsibility for the whole cycle? Responsibility may grow with competence, but employers, codes, customers, schedules, and safety still shape the work. Depending on the trade and setting, the work may involve lifting, climbing, tight spaces, weather, temperatures, hazards, protective equipment, travel, evenings, weekends, overtime, emergency calls, or peak seasons. Those are occupation-level demands, not your predicted week or a verdict about age. Can this role fit your abilities, schedule, support, and recovery in normal and difficult periods? Until the real tasks, setting, and support are known, lifestyle and physical fit are unknown. Starting again does not erase what you know. Troubleshooting, communication, documentation, math, projects, customers, leadership, and safety habits may support learning. They do not replace trade-specific instruction or supervision. For each critical capability, mark transfer, learn, supervise, support, or unresolved. Can you become a beginner here without pretending your previous life has no value? Transferable experience is mixed. Diagnosis, installation, testing, maintenance, or repair may give you a visible connection between effort and result. If your present work feels abstract, That can matter. But usefulness comes with service pressure, cleanup, documentation, and consequences when something is wrong. Which parts of being useful would still matter when pressure and accountability appear? Add tangible, useful work to what you may gain. Paired with usefulness comes with responsibility. Meaning and fulfillment are mixed until real exposure confirms the ordinary work answers your motive. Instruction, mentorship, standards, repetition, and time can build technical mastery. Progress may be visible in what you can safely understand and do. The price is beginner status. An experienced adult may still need correction, oversight, repetition, and years of role-specific learning. Can beginner status become an investment rather than a judgment on the competence you already have? Add progressive technical mastery paired with you will be a beginner. Time remains demanding. Starting new here does not erase what you learned elsewhere. The work may offer more movement, tools, systems, and immediate problem solving than your current day. That different rhythm may be exactly what attracts you. It still includes diagrams, math, code, standards, estimates, records, technology, and coordination. You may not be leaving complexity. You may be choosing a form of complexity you would rather carry. Add more hands-on, less abstract. Paired with hands-on is not admin-free. Independence and control remain mixed because real competence works inside obligations, not outside them. Your strengths may help you learn, communicate, organize, serve customers, or notice risk. That can protect dignity during a transition. But formal credit, reduced training, faster progression, and employer recognition are route-specific. Confidence cannot close a technical gap by itself. Which abilities are proven, which may transfer, and which are being protected by confidence? Add prior experience can support learning. Paired with experience is not trained competence. Transferability stays mixed until every critical gap has an accountable plan. The honest sentence is, I bring something, and I still have something specific to learn. You can gather evidence through official information, worker interviews, permitted observation, introductory learning, staged preparation, paid entry, school, or an adjacent role. Routes distribute commitment and learning differently. Every route leaves something unknown. An information session does not reproduce a work week. Observation does not prove physical or schedule fit. School does not guarantee employer recognition, apprenticeship credit, or a job. Paid entry gives deeper evidence only after selection. Which route earns useful evidence without claiming more than it proves? Add more than one way to approach the change. Paired with a test cannot reproduce the whole job, and local access controls the path. Reversibility is mixed, better for a low-commitment test, harder for a full leap. If you want a more active day or closer contact with physical systems, some roles may offer that. They may also involve lifting, climbing, awkward spaces, weather, hazards, travel, emergency work, or schedules that affect recovery and home life. The demanding version matters because a career has to fit more than its best day. Does this role fit your actual abilities, support, schedule, and recovery? Not an age stereotype and not a toughness test. Keep tangible work and more hands-on the pros board. Add the work can be physically and schedule demanding to the cons board. Lifestyle and physical fit remain unknown until tested at task level. For 2024 through 2034, BLS projects openings across all three broad occupations, including openings created when workers leave the field. That does not prove a vacancy, acceptance, stable hours, or security where you live. National wage medians are not starting pay. BLS explicitly says plumbing and electrical apprentices earn less than fully trained workers as they learn. The real decision needs current written terms: pay, hours, overtime, benefits, progression, transport, tools, tests, and other costs. A national outlook may encourage you, but what would your household live with? Compare a real route in base and conservative cases. Keep missing inputs unknown. Does the conservative case protect the life you want to improve, or require that life to subsidize the change? Add ongoing national occupational openings paired with local access. Controls the path and beginner economics may hit the household. Income and security are unknown. Investment and household exposure are unknown until the route and your inputs are real. This change may fit 4 viewers differently. Make the change may be defensible when you want the actual tasks and setting after lawful exposure, and a current local route or written offer is verified. Compensation, benefits, schedule, and costs must work in base and conservative household cases. Task-level safety and physical fit must be supportable, with a capability and recovery plan. Build toward it fits when one real path appears durable. but a named prerequisite, savings, transport, benefit, schedule, exposure, or capability gap, needs a clear checkpoint. Test it first fits when the identity is clearer than the daily work, no path is selected, or a lawful test can answer a material unknown. Not this change is legitimate when the work does not answer your motive, the route survives only an optimistic case, essential constraints cannot be redesigned, or another path fits better. These are fit and readiness conditions, not rankings of courage, toughness, age, or worth. Under the right conditions, a skilled trade path may provide tangible technical learning, visible usefulness, a different mix of movement and abstraction, progressive mastery, a second-act identity, and a place to apply mature strengths. Some roles may offer greater responsibility or autonomy over time, depending on the role and setting. The occupation label cannot diagnose or cure distress. It cannot guarantee immediate income replacement, benefits, belonging, confidence, respect, autonomy, security, fulfillment, local access, or physical fit. The desire for useful, grounded work may be true even if plumbing, electrical work, or HVAC is the wrong vehicle. You are deciding whether one actual path fits, not whether your need for change is legitimate. Here is the change board. Meaning and fulfillment, mixed. Independence and control, mixed. Income and security, unknown. Time to transition, demanding. Investment and household exposure, unknown. Lifestyle and physical fit, unknown. Transferable experience, mixed. Reversibility, mixed. Unknown does not mean zero, safe, or bad. It means the decision still needs evidence. There is no total score, and a promising dimension cannot cancel an unacceptable exposure. For the broad viewer, the decision is, test it first. Testing is action, not a polite no. Strong evidence can move toward make. A named gap can mean build. Poor work fit or unacceptable exposure can mean not this. Before quitting or enrolling, build a local 3-path evidence sheet. First, write 3 results the change should create, and 3 things it must not damage. Second, for plumbing, electrical work, and HVAC, identify 1 official local route and 1 credible current employer, union, school, regulator, or workforce source. Third, seek lawful exposure through information sessions, worker interviews, permitted observation, introductory learning, or adjacent work. Never use unsupervised technical tasks as a test. Fourth, record the real beginner phase, requirements, application status, pay, benefits, hours, schedule, transport, costs, physical and safety demands, and progression. If a field is unsupported, write unknown. Fifth, compare each path with your income floor, household needs, recovery capacity, capability gaps, and stop conditions. Then choose 1 path for deeper testing. Move it to build or make only when the conditions are supported, or reject the category without rejecting the desire for change. The sheet is an evidence framework, not a promise of access, selection, readiness, or fit. You do not have to choose between becoming new and respecting what you have already built. Earn evidence before asking your life to carry the full change. What change are you considering, and what do you hope it will give you? Tell me in the comments. Next, we will test becoming a cosmetologist after 40. Creative hands-on work, client service, beginner learning, and the life around the change. Subscribe to examine that path with the same honesty. Life doesn't end at 40. Sometimes that's when it begins again.